What's up, everybody? Who dat? Who dat? It's finally here, less than 5 days away. Boy, this is going to be a good show. We're going to dive into a bunch of different things. But first, let me introduce my co host, Mr. Pancho Gonzalez. What's up, my boy?
It's a who that kind of day for me, man.
And look, my boy, my friend, Mr. H Town Chris. What's up, partner?
LSU's horrible. What can I say? It's absolutely horrible.
And of, and of course, everybody knows him as the voice, Mr. Dave Rob. What's up, partner?
It's still baseball season, folks. That's all I've got to say.
Well, listen, let's dive into it, y'all. Listen, we'll dive into it real quick with the Saints. Coming up in 5 days, we open up a big game Sunday at noon. The NFL kicks off officially Thursday night. What you got, Pancho? What you looking forward to, Mr. Who Dat himself?
Look, I'm looking forward to a who that Sunday, man. Especially over this past couple of days for college football, man. It's a bunch of first games, second games, big upsets. Some upsets, some bigger than life upsets. Man, it's a good weekend for college football, man. You don't hear nothing about the start in the NFL. All you hear is some college right now. But go ahead.
Yeah. But look, an expert on this, Mr. H Town himself. He follows college football seriously. What you got over this weekend, man? What was your biggest upset? I know what it was to begin with, but what was your analysis of the final?
I think LSU has the smallest cornerbacks of all in college football.
6'2" ain't small, brother. Yeah, I think it's 6'2".
Cornerback.
Yeah, the cornerback.
Cornerback.
Corner. Like Marshawn Lattimore.
That dude's like 5'10" going up against a 6'4" wide receiver.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, H.
No, I think their cornerbacks were like manhandled. They were outplayed by wide receivers that looked like gigantic, titans. Their offensive line was terrible. Wide receivers didn't catch. I think Jaden did pretty good.
What's up, Tony?
Just a disappointment. It's just a game they should have won.
Yeah.
But
I'm a good.
Listen, I don't think it was an upset, though. I think people keep saying upset, though, with this game.
You come out the gate gunning, and you're throwing downfield, you're making moves, you're making things, and all of a sudden you get the lead, and he tightened up and just run up the middle. He ran that up the middle to death. And without going outside, you know what I'm saying? There was never no downfield threat at all. And it's the second half.
What you were saying, Dave?
No, I mean, I think the problem is, too, I think a lot of LSU fans just will wait and anticipate this game way too much. I mean, this isn't really an upset. I mean, Florida State's another top 10 team. It's not like, the Colorado thing. It's not like Clemson going down to Duke. I mean, this was two teams that were like 3 spots away from each other. And we said on the podcast before that Jordan Travis kid, we kept saying this kid is no bullshit quarterback. This guy is a legit NFL prospect. And, I mean, look what he did. I mean, the second half, he was the superior quarterback. Yeah, I agree with Pancho. Play calling got a little stale with Brian Kelly, which it did. I think he was out of his element a little bit in that second half. But, I mean, dude, Florida State's a good football team, and they just, they got a beat down. Simple as that.
So, hey, I want to get your opinion on this because I think me and you dived into a little bit. How do you have 6 possessions inside the 5-yard line and you don't come away with any points? What do you think?
It's baffling. I don't know how they didn't score on that first play, the first possession. I mean, they were right there on the freaking goal line, and they couldn't punch it in. I don't know why. I think LSU's just as talented as FSU, but for whatever reason, they just choked in the second half. I don't know.
What it was, and I know he didn't line up under center that much, which I don't think at all, honestly. My thing is this: if you got a 4th and 1, you got to have something in your playbook to where you can line up on the center and hand the ball off.
Well, you need that, or you need a Taysom Hill. That's it. You need something. You need to figure that out, man. They should watch number 7 highlights for the Saints, man. I mean, if you want short yards, I mean, you're gonna win or lose a game over that, Rich.
I mean, you basically had 7 plays, 8 plays inside of the 3-yard line. So it wasn't just a 4th and 1. You had a 3rd and 1. You had a 1st and 1. You had a 2nd and 1, and then you just keep going up the middle. And instead of putting Jaden Daniels on roll out, do something, make something happen out there. Either an option to throw or running the ball in. They didn't utilize any of that. I mean, to me, in the second quarter, Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
I mean, you had him on the ropes. He looked like he couldn't do nothing. He was stuck. I mean, from throwing interceptions, he looked confused. And then all of a sudden, he calls off the dogs. Brian Kelly does, and it's just like then he starts sitting back and let this man pick apart this defense. Roasted chestnuts got 3 touchdowns up against them.
What's up, Shawnee?
So I mean,
H, I see you shake. I see you, H. I see you shaking your head. You agree with that? What?
Yeah, I do. I do agree with that. I think Jaden Daniels and LSU looked really good in the second quarter, and then for whatever reason, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, Florida State, by the way, made adjustments and just they totally killed them. And I don't know what happened. It's just like they got vanilla. I don't know why.
Yeah, Chris, let me ask you this. Chris, are you saying?
Go ahead, Dave.
No, so look, here's my thing about halftime adjustments. I mean, I was waiting on that. That's what I was going to say. Chris beat me to it. And I mean, let's be real. I mean, what does that come down to more than anything? I mean, these two teams pretty similar as far as talent goes. I mean, what's the difference maker with halftime adjustments? It's coaching. So, I mean, is the coaching staff an issue? I mean, I think LSU fans get a little crazy. They want to fire everybody after one loss. But, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. One team outcoached the other here. I mean, that's where
do you think that's what it is? Do you think that Brian Kelly
I think it's a huge difference. I think it's a huge difference. I think the talent, look, those players, they're not, fans here, I think they kind of downplayed Florida State coming into this game. I mean, it's like people were chalking up a win before it even happened. I mean, to me, coaching was a huge factor in this game, man. I mean, play calling is massive, dude. And I think one was better than the other.
No, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think whenever you can hold Harold Perkins in check, that's a problem. I mean, Harold Perkins was the best defensive player on that field, regardless of the stats or not. And to be held in check like that, I mean, that dude's like a top 10 prospect.
Yeah.
He did nothing. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's just
LSU. I agree with Dave. I honestly think it just comes down to X's and O's. I think he got out coached. I don't think he made the proper adjustments at halftime. And Florida State did. I think he got a little bit in his head. I think he got too antsy. I think there were some plays that he was calling that he wouldn't normally call in that situation. I think he was reaching for a spark. I don't know. It was just a funky game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, you have Jalen Daniels, and you have. You don't have a stable of running backs. Wide receivers, but you have, Malik Neighbors. You have guys there. And to me, there was no urgency at any point in the game. There was, again, the players play the game. The coaches coach the game. The players still got to play the game. They still got to execute. Was it execution, 100%? Absolutely not. It's never going to be 100. But, man, the effort wasn't there. It almost, you can see that. You can just see it. You get deflated. You can almost see the blood in the water, in the third quarter. At 6 minutes. LSU didn't look like they even wanted to be out there at that point in time. Jalen Daniels, his furthest throw in the air was 20 yards. If you know what I'm saying? They come out gunning and then shut it down. And if you look at it, it was the same blueprint.
Let me
came out of the gates at the second at halftime last year and took the game over. LSU had some points.
Well, look, H, you follow this program and you follow the quarterback at LSU more than some of us. Would you agree there should have been? I know, but I'm saying this. But don't you agree there should have been? There was a lot of suspect going into Jaden Daniels this season.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of questions. No. There was a lot of questions. They were like, his decision making last year was very questionable. Very.
In the beginning,
I think Richie. I think it definitely progressed as the season went on.
Did
it look? It looked like he took a step back. Saturday.
No, I agree, Richie. I agree with that. He looked more like the first half of the season in this game. Yeah,
that's
the first half of 22. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when we talked beforehand, the biggest thing was, will Jaden Daniels pick up where he left off? He looked like it for like the first possession, and then after that, it went nowhere.
So do you think? So do y'all think it was more of Brian Kelly putting him in a bad position?
It's not putting him in a bad position. He didn't give him anything to succeed with.
But why? But why are we not sitting here talking about? And then look, this needs to be addressed. That offensive line looks bad.
It was bad. It was very bad.
And Richie, the DBs as well.
DBs look lost. They look lost.
Well, who was you had a friend of yours that actually called that before the last game.
Yes, he did. Yes, my friend Alvin. He said that. Yep, he called it when we were on our show. He said,
"Yeah, good."
I mean, he said, and we talked. Actually, we talked after we got off the podcast. We talked about it. He said, "Dude, I do not trust our secondary at all."
Yeah. And when was the last time you could say that about an LSU secondary with all the greats over the years, the Petersons, the Matthews, Greedy Williams, et cetera?
Dude, that's one thing. That's one thing. That's one thing they never lacked is defensive backs.
That's what I'm saying. Like cover corners is not an issue for this team. That's what I'm saying. So what happened there? Is it a recruitment fail? Is it coaching on that side of the ball? What is it? Where these defensive backs?
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Fell off.
In any sport, in any football game, time of possession is a big thing. So again, I've always been an advocate. They say football players in the third or fourth quarter, they start to get tired. I was never an advocate of that just because an average player in the NFL, defensive player, plays an average of literally 4 minutes. 4 minutes. If you timed out the 7-second play, divided by 60 plays or 50 plays he plays in that game.
What's up, Jimmy?
He plays a total of 4 minutes. I don't know how you get tired. And that manner, I understand you expend a lot of energy in that 8 seconds until the next snap. But
listen,
again,
look. We got two viewers on right now. That my boy Jimmy, my boy Tony. They follow LSU hard. Just give us y'all opinion, Jimmy and Tony. Seriously, and Shawnee D, you too. We want to know what y'all think because we're not experts up here. We just giving our voice and our opinion. That's all. I mean, I'm telling you right now, that was a disappointing effort. It really was, man.
Yeah, Richie, they deserve everything they got in the standings as well. I mean, falling back all the way to 15? I think they absolutely deserve that. I mean, I don't know, man. Let me ask you guys this. I mean, after this week, watching Florida State, is this a legit team going forward? I mean, or what? Do y'all look at this as a national title caliber team?
In fact, to me, Florida State looks suspect also. They wasn't to say they were dominant in the third, fourth quarter. It took them time to adjust, but as far as I see them dominant. I don't see them being dominant in any particular way. They're really good in certain, but again, it's a first game, so we're gauging. What we're going off the first game. So, and we're talking about 17, 18, 19-year-olds playing, a sport.
Well, could this be a wide open kind of college football season? You know what I'm saying? Could this be a wide open, there's not that 2 or 3 dominant teams that everybody's projected to win. I mean, I know the SEC teams are up there, but could this be a year where a few teams do sneak into the mix, right now who are maybe outside the top 10 or,
I think
Richie,
so.
You're USC Trojans. I mean, we joke about USC, but I mean, in a year like this, to have a guy like Caleb Williams, man, that's a massive advantage because it doesn't look
it's
only one weekend. We got to let teams develop, but there's no team on paper that looks absolutely dominant.
Even with USC, I came away from this weekend with the same thing on a lot of college teams. There is no defense in college football no more.
I think you see a lot of great college quarterbacks right now. There is
a lot. Yes,
a lot. I mean, there are at least 6, 7 first-round quarterbacks right now. I mean, easily.
Yeah.
Jordan.
You're not gonna have. I don't say you're gonna have 6 or 7 teams in the NFL drafting quarterbacks in the first round.
He's just using it. He's just saying
right. But year to year things could change so much, though. I mean, let's be real. There's some things that could definitely change.
I would kind of lean towards the Pancho. That's hard for 6 quarterbacks to go in the first round.
It is hard. It is hard. I mean, it is hard.
I can tell you.
But I guess what Chris is saying, like first round graded type of quarterbacks. I get what he's saying.
I mean, but I also agree with H-Town. I haven't seen so much talent at the quarterback position in a very long time in 1 year. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Richie, it goes back to what we were saying. Even I don't want to get too deep into the Saints. I know we're still in the college thing, but just for our team, the Saints. I mean, with Derek Carr, let's be real. I mean, Derek Carr, look, he's our guy. But I mean, why not get like like Chris is saying, if there's like maybe 7 or 8 first-round grade quarterbacks, and one of those guys falls into the second round. If you're the Saints, you got a plus 30-year-old quarterback, even though he's our guy the next few years. Why not get that guy in house early rather than waiting too long?
Well, you know what? You know what people are talking about, and if you look at it, it's kind of true. Since Georgia has been on its run for the last 2 years, I think that's kind of weakened LSU and Alabama. If you look at it
right now, I can name 6 teams right now.
You can name 6 teams.
With quarterbacks, Rich, with Chris, that's what you're talking about?
Seattle, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bucks, the Falcons, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Minnesota. Kirk Cousins like 34.
Damn. Hey, look. Good point. Good point.
We're not disagreeing with you. We're just saying that takes up a lot of first round picks.
Hey, but people do wild things for quarterbacks, you know.
I mean,
people do crazy
Fatty,
shit.
listen, you know what? That's a good question. That's a good question. Fatty, look that up for us and see how many quarterbacks has been drafted in the first round in 1 year. That's a good question.
Look, and here's the next thing. So so are you going to draft a quarterback in the first round, knowing that say there's 7 good first round quarterbacks? Are you going to draft them in the first round, knowing that there's 25, 28 other teams that ain't going to draft a quarterback? So why wouldn't you leave them guys for second, maybe third round?
That's my point. I think there's more teams than what – I mean, I can keep going. Oakland.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's not enough first.
No, but
I think what H is saying, and I agree with him. If you have the upper tier quarterbacks in the NFL that plays well, but you got a bottom tier that's horrible. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield as a starting quarterback for NFL franchise. Come on, man, really?
I mean,
I
agree.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
There's a
No,
but Richie, here's the thing. Like, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in college that are going to be coming out, man. Tennessee.
How many is that? I can't read it. How many is that?
Record belongs to 1983.
Yeah.
Draft Hanson's close. I can't
I mean,
see that far.
How many?
To stay with the college theme, man, the whole Colorado fandom and the whole is about to start up, man. It's prime.
Sean, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Prime Time has created something over there that's got a lot of people excited. You know, he doesn't owe.
Thank you, Fatty.
Look, so Pancho, you're about to have Richie throw chairs in the background here. We tried this before. Trust me.
I was going to answer your question. It was 6 quarterbacks in 1983 in the first round.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the only time.
Elway and Marino with 2 of them.
So that's the only time that's ever happened.
How many?
6.
6.
6.
Well, hey, what would you say a realistic over/under? I'm saying 5 is a realistic over/under this year, though.
I think they're 6.
They may be.
Thank you, Fatty. So what you were saying, Pancho? What you were saying a minute ago?
What about the prime time? I mean, the uphill battle that he has undertaken is second to none. There's not an example out there of what he's taking, what he has accomplished. There's not another situation like that in college football. So
what do you mean? What do you mean?
He hasn't assembled. He had brought in 53 different guys.
From 68 or 86. Did we have a crazy number like that?
Yeah.
And won one game last year. And there was an average they lost by an average of 29 points per game. They lost by an average.
But listen to me. I still don't think I don't think TCU is a good team this year.
No, but Richie, it's still a solid team. It's a solid team. It's a quality opponent.
I mean, this is the
nobody. Why do y'all? What? Listen, Dave. Listen to me. Game. All right, I'm gonna let y'all talk, and I'm gonna sit back and listen, and I want y'all to explain him is so good. But when you do that, you better use both sides of the ball, offense and defense. The floor is yours.
All right, so I'm going to say one thing off of what Pancho was saying about primetime. So, look, it's a great story because I'll tell you, have you looked at the ticket prices today in Boulder, in Colorado, what these tickets are going for? I mean, I think they're saying the cheapest ticket to get in the stadium for Saturday is like $400 or $500. I mean, so to me, it's good for the game. I mean, whether you like Dion, whether you don't like Dion, you got to respect him as how great of a career he had and like how fast he's turning this thing around. Because let's be real, he's turning it around. I'm not saying they're going to a national title game. Not saying they're going to finish in the top 10. But man, when you win one game the previous season and you beat a ranked opponent to start the next season,
he's also benefited from
saying a lot.
He's also benefited from having a quarterback who's his son.
Well, that's great. I don't care. I mean, I don't care how you do it. I mean, Sean Payton's the benefit of Breeze. Breeze is the benefit of Payton. I mean, we can't take all this, hey, take this out of the equation, take that out of the equation. It is what it is, you know?
I don't like the fact. Here's what I don't like the fact, and nobody brings this up. And I get it. We benefit from it. We can benefit from a kid transferring. Other teams do too. But let me explain. When Dion got praised for going to Jackson State and building that program up, Dion also is responsible for tearing that program down.
But how?
Is it not? He took the players.
I mean, what do you want him to do? So if he's penalized if he stays somewhere too long, then he's penalized if he leaves, like Sean Payton.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what he should have said? No, son, you stay there, finish what we started. I'm leaving. I gave them my word. I would build that program up. You stay there. Why not?
So why do that when you can do what they just did this last weekend?
Yeah, what world are you living in? Why would you even do that?
Yeah, like look what just happened and how big of a story it is. This is a
listen
dream.
to me. Like, I'm not saying he has to. But what I'm saying is, but when you leave Dion, say, yeah, I'm taking your players with you too, because I could care less how your program goes now. Say that.
Well, no, I mean, Richie, but that's not that's the athletic director's job at this point. He no longer is employed by them. So whatever happens, I mean, it is what it is. Like Sean Payton leaving us, I'm not mad at Sean Payton. It's Dennis Allen, Mickey Loomis. It's their job to make us good. Sean Payton did what he was supposed to do.
No, Richie,
don't praise Dion for don't praise Dion. Then praise the same guy that you saying when they left. Praise him too when Dion's there.
Can I give me 1 minute, Richie? Calm down.
Go ahead.
So do you have any remote idea what Dion has done for that program, Jackson State I'm talking about? Do you have any idea what he has done?
What has he done this year?
As last year, they didn't have any stadium lights. They had to play during the day because they couldn't afford stadium lights. So Dion comes in, goes 200 feet a season. Now they got stadium lights. Now they got equipment in the room because their ticket sales went up. Jackson State ticket sales went through the roof. I'm not saying he. We'll make your point. Now he built the program. So he built the program. Now he
stay there. Then stay there.
For what?
Why not?
But I mean, Richie, if you get a promotion, you got to go for the promotion. I mean, you get into a big time program.
Does he need why do you need that promotion?
$8 million.
Why does anybody need anything? Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference, man.
He don't. First of all, we all know Dion don't need the money. He can stay there and just build the program up.
In that man's pocketbook? Do you know what that man's?
Stop it. Stop. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
But Richie, it's not about the money. I mean, maybe Richie, he wants to just prove to himself he can coach real D1 legit ball. I mean, like nothing against Jackson State, but I mean, you're going into the big time now. I mean, and that's maybe a challenge he wanted to make within himself.
So it's fair to say he used Jackson State as a stepping stone, is it not?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Everybody, but that's life. I mean, we use everything as a stepping stone that we've done in life.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that then?
Colorado's a stepping stone.
Yes, I agree with Chris there. Colorado's not the finish. That's not his last destination.
I'm not disagreeing. Pancho, I'm not disagreeing with you. So don't praise him. It's a job.
No, I think, but Richie, I don't think we're praising him. Look, I hated Dion growing up like everybody. He was a Falcon. He was a 49er. He was a Cowboy. We didn't like his antics, but damn, we got to respect the dude on what he's accomplished.
Dave, that's got to do with it. Zero. Act like a head coach.
I mean, it doesn't have something to do. I mean, let's be real. Hold on. If Deion Sanders was an ex-Saint like Pat Swiller or anybody else, I think it'd be a whole different conversation right now.
Nope. Because I was a coach for youth programs for many years, and you set an example for these kids, and you have to set an example for these kids. You don't have to be flamboyant. You don't have to be flamboyant using certain language, saying this craziness, saying that crazy. Give me theme music, this, that.
No, Come on, Richie, dude. Whatever works. Like Sean Payton, we had a team where our coaches dancing in the locker room and doing crazy stuff. I mean, Bill Belichick ain't dancing and doing the gritty in the locker room.
I'm a damn DJ, and I'm a damn. Give me some theme music. Stop it. Stop, dude.
I mean, but whatever works for your success. I mean, doesn't that, I mean, who cares what they're listening to? I mean, it could be jamming Garth Brooks. They could be jamming, Lil Baby. I don't care. I mean, whatever they do.
Type of music. I didn't say what type of music you need to listen to.
No, but I'm saying, to me, look, there's a lot of ways to success. You don't have to have a perfect design on the way a coach acts. Like Andy Reid's very quiet and boring.
All right, you're in the locker room. You're addressing a team, Dave. Listen to me. Hear me out. You're in the locker room. You're addressing the team. After you give your speech, you then say, not our theme music. Give me my theme music. So you're making
Richie, I think you're looking way too deep into this. Richie, you're channeling your inner Colin Cowherd here. Like you're looking for that one word to kind of start a reaction, but I don't think it's that big, man. I don't think it's that big. I think we're going overboard with that.
Richie,
I don't think we are.
Bettered his life. He.
Do y'all realize who y'all talking about here? Do y'all realize who y'all talking about?
This dude was doing blow off of Puerto Rican hookers every offseason. Look, I mean, now he's like changed his lifestyle. He's got his stuff together.
So
it's a great story.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because we fail to forget what people used to be like.
Oh no, but you can change. You got to be able to change in life. I mean, it's just the way it is.
This is what you want. All right, so Richie wants Brian Kelly, and he don't want primetime in his. Running his team. That's what he wants.
Let me ask you this right now. If you ask,
I don't want a head coach. I don't want my head coach front and center saying me. That's what I don't want.
As long as you win, that's all that matters.
Did you not listen to the halftime interview? He said, "Well, Hunter was going to be a Heisman Trophy." Dude, that dude is so uplifting to his players. Mm-hmm. He took a bag of potatoes.
Right. I'll give you a perfect example.
Wait, Chris.
Go ahead.
Took a bag of potatoes and made potato salad with that son of a bitch. He took guys that have never played together, a random group of guys, and they beat. I don't care what you think. They beat the number 17 or 17.
17.
And they won one game last year, bro. You ought to be excited for these kids. You ought to be excited.
Good, H.
I'll say this.
Primetime made these kids
we got
potential. You got guys like Brian Kelly who can't get the potential out of his players, and then you got Primetime who's getting the most from the last guy on the roster, getting the most from him. They want to play for him. That's why.
Go ahead, H. Let H talk.
I'll say this too, and I'll piggyback off of this. I think Colorado would have beaten Clemson last night.
Absolutely.
I say Clemson is horrible, and they were ranked 5th. I think Colorado would have beat Clemson, and I think it would have been. I think we probably would have a different conversation right now.
So y'all putting stock into this team being legit?
No, Richie. And here's my thing. I'm glad you said that. I was going to talk to you about that, Richie. Now I'm going to say this, Richie. I agree with you on this. Okay, we got to taper expectations. It's a great story right now, but it means shit if they lose this week against Nebraska at home.
True. And they don't.
No, it don't.
Dude, if they win.
No, I'm saying, but like we got something to talk about more if they win this game. But if they lose this game,
bro.
You
can't gauge one team off a win or a loss. You're not going to get that.
So why are we?
No, it's a great story, Richie. I think it's a great story.
We haven't talked one time about Duke yet.
Duke's another great story. I mean,
they beat the number 9 team and gave up half the yards.
Duke is not going to be ranked by the time 5 weeks roll.
Y'all still not answering my question. Y'all say Dion is building. Listen, you saying Dion's building a program. I'm letting you explain to me. I said use both sides of the ball, and you still have yet to do that.
Well, we got to see more. Richie, we got to see more.
Colorado.
Richie, we got to see more this week. They're at home. They're against a different opponent, Nebraska. Not maybe as good of an offense as TCU. We're going to see what they have.
So explain. So as Dion being a Hall of Famer defensive player, shouldn't he be putting a better defensive product on the field?
But Richie, we talked about this last time, though. Defense is about cohesiveness. Like one player on offense can really change the table, in my opinion. Defensively, you got to have cohesiveness. You can't have just one great cover corner or one great pass rusher. You got to have communication. You got to have, each level of the defense playing as one. Offensively, you can have a great receiver like a Calvin Johnson and have a bunch of bullshit everywhere else. I'm gonna get
this right now all week long. Shawnee just posted it. You post a comment. What happens if they beat USC? Nobody has put money on the line. I got money. You got some. Put it on the line. Put your money where your mouth.
We're too far ahead. We're too far ahead, Richie. We got to worry about this game
right now. Richie, now I'm good. I'm good to bet my team right now. I'm good to bet mine.
I would too if I had a quarterback as big as Caleb Williams.
You just said he's the caliber of Caleb Williams right now.
Who said that?
You just said that. He's a top one quarterback right now.
He's a top. Who said Shooter Sanders was?
I mean,
No.
Look, whatever airplane or whatever rocket you just left on, and you got to come back down for a little bit, bro. Because you're taking everything and you're going to the extreme with it. You don't yet. You're not playing the middle.
Because you expect me to give you expect me, a guy who is giving little to nothing to people in life.
But who?
What?
Deion Sanders.
Richie, you're going way out of here. How do you even know
Yeah,
that?
we can't get into. I don't know. I mean,
like you've never been in this man. You've never met the man to even know the man.
What? So now we
so
base it on something. So now I got to base my opinion on somebody because I haven't met him, I can't give an opinion. What you
You're
saying?
saying he's a shitty person, and you don't know that.
I get the same thing about LeBron James every day. Nobody's ever met him.
I think LeBron does it to himself a little bit.
I've met Shaquille.
No, Dave. Dave, don't back down. You said he's a shitty person. Don't even back down.
Wait, what's that about LeBron? LeBron, absolutely. LeBron. Listen, LeBron. Hold on, Rich. Well, who's going?
What did you say, H-Town? What'd you say?
I said I hate the Lakers.
Yeah, I hate LeBron. Richie. What LeBron did with this super team crap, I mean, that's why a lot of people don't like LeBron. I mean, he basically, you talk about somebody compromising a game. I mean, this guy, you never saw Jordan. You never saw Olajuwon, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, whoever. You never saw them not be able to do it on their own and say, hey, well, I'm going to go find the best damn team out there with 4 All-Stars or whatever and go try to form a super team. I think that's where LeBron lost a lot of people's respect. And LeBron's very public about a lot of other issues. And I'm not, listen, dude, you got to respect LeBron. But me saying I don't like LeBron or whatever, and I'm not saying I hate the guy, but I mean, he's not my favorite guy in the NBA. But let's be real, he's one of the best 3 players of all time. And that's the same way we can't deny Deion Sanders being a great story, even though we might not love him personally for whatever reason.
What story, though, Dave? What story? What story?
It's the biggest story in sports the last few days.
Bro, you're clueless. You're honestly clueless. He took a team last year, a college team last year that had 1 win all year. Got dominated, lost by 29 points. Come into this year, he got rid of all those guys, brought in his guys, and assembled a team that went into TCU on their first game of the season of his first year there and dominated them. Shedeur Sanders threw for 510 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Richie, they were supposed to lose this game by 20. Weren't they 20-point underdogs?
First of all, Fatty, you never put nothing Falcons on this screen ever. I'll shut this down right now.
I like that.
I'll shut it down right now.
Richie's ready to throw a chair.
I don't care. I'll shut it. I'll shut the whole podcast down right now.
Look, so he went down and beat them in their own town.
I don't care.
So, listen, I'm not a
I don't play that.
Why? Now, what he's created?
Well, apparently you are.
That hasn't been created before. Nobody's ever come in and done this.
Look. Really?
Look, Richie, let's say this. Can we? I want to kill this topic. We're going way long.
Nick Saban took over an Alabama team that had 7 consecutive losing seasons before he got there.
So Nick Saban's an all-time great.
And he won a national championship year 2.
He's one of the best coaches of all time.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
And Deion's trying to do
so we're not putting Deion out. We're not putting Deion on that level, right?
No one's putting Deion anywhere yet. No.
Okay.
I think the hype is a little crazy, Richie, but nobody's anointing him as like the best coach in college football.
But what I'm saying is but the same credit you give him for winning this first game and build the same credit away when he loses to a team.
Look, Richie, I want to kill this topic. I know it's not just my choice, but look, here's my thing. Okay, I'm going to compare it to one little thing. It's a great story because, Jeremy Lin wasn't even a top 20 player in the NBA. But remember the Jeremy Lin situation years ago and how big of a story that was for weeks in the NBA and all the sports. Sometimes it's just a great story. Nobody was confusing Jeremy Lin with LeBron James or Kobe Bryant at the time. But it was a great story, and I think that's where we are with the Deion thing.
I mean, he's got guys coming in that Michael Irvin sitting on the sideline. He's got the talk of the town. He's got the talk of the nation. He's got the spotlight is on Colorado, and that's what you want as a college.
It's just
Everybody's looking at them. The ticket sales went from you probably could shoot a cannon last year in Buffalo, whatever stadium they call it, and not hit anybody. And now you got people paying $15,000 to sit on the first row. Dude, you can't do that.
It's a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
Coach, name another program that has been done what Dion has done. So fast, this quick.
Okay.
I think it's just fun to watch. This is why we watch sports, is for stories like this. What could happen? Yeah. We don't know.
I'm sorry. I think he's going to have more losses than he is wins, and I'll be proven
Richie,
right.
you might be right. Richie, you may be right. It's just a right now thing. Like I like what Chris. Wait, were you about to go with Chris? Because I was right on point with.
I think it's just fun to watch. This is why we watch sports. Is because you're interested, you're engaged with it. Is he going to win a national championship? No. He ain't going to win a national championship.
But what I'm saying is y'all expected me. This is what I'm saying is. And whether it's right or wrong, it's just my opinion. Y'all expect me to change my opinion over somebody who I've disliked my whole life. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
No, you can hate.
No, but Ricky, that's what. I mean, I agree with that. I believe in what you're saying there. I mean, but it is a big story.
What we doing now?
I'm gonna stand on what I say.
You got to separate what we doing now to what you don't like. Like I don't like the Falcons, but I got
no. First of all, David H. I both said on the thing, I still have a job to do here, and I said that he's done. Did I not say I think he's done a good job?
He's done a great job.
Yeah. I said that.
What more do you want from the guy? What more do you want?
Because I think people look at it from, and we're gonna move on from the subject. I think people look at it just because it's Dion is what I said.
Listen, they say Shedeur is dominating HBCU. He couldn't do it in the next level. He couldn't do it in FBS. They told him repeatedly he could not do it. It was impossible. He wasn't good enough. Dion was sheltering him and covering him and trying to make him so what he was not. And so what? We're gonna Pop, let's play Colorado. Let's go play the big dogs. So I show them that my talent. And
all right, listen, so I get that. I'm gonna make this one thing, and I want your opinion on it. We can move on. Somebody just made a good comment, and you should bring that up. My boy Slugger did. He said, that defense gave up 541 yards of offense. That's how much they gave up.
TCU,
you think he should be proud of that?
No, Richie, that's got to be fixed.
Colorado,
no doubt about it. Nobody's putting them in the
gave
national
up
title
541 yards.
That's when you face a TCU offense, you got to be prepared. You're not going to shut down that offense.
But I'm saying it. So how can we sit here and say that it was a good game by Colorado? You give up that many yards.
No, but you win, Richie. It's a good game if you win.
Yeah, I don't care if you give up 600 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're overlooking too many things. We're diving too deep into that.
The measure of success.
Okay, so is it fair to? Go ahead, H.
I was going to say.
So is it fair?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You go. I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I think the measure of success is a W or an L. Is the defense bad? Yeah. Can it be fixed? We've got a week's time to find out. It's week 1. I mean, I don't care if they gave up 600 yards. So
is it fair? So is it fair to say this? They put up a lot of points on offense. They gave up a lot of points on defense. So is it fair to say the offense is just as the defense is just as bad as good as the offense is? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean it's possible, Richie. Yeah, it's certainly possible.
Richie, let's come back down to earth again.
What I mean by this, Pancho, and I'm coming back. Listen to me. I'm coming back down to earth. Listen to me. What are you gonna do when you run into a team that has a defense that can't? They won't. Listen to me. What are you gonna do when you run into a team? They can't stop Dion's off, but what you're going to do when you have another team that can outscore the other team? You're going to have to play defense at some point in this year.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah, I think you're looking past it, Rich. Yeah.
Me and Richie. So, Richie.
Yep.
How many players on this defense played on this defense last year?
I have no idea. I'm going to be lying to you and tell you that.
The problem these players have never played together. Okay, so this is their first game.
All right, stop. Hold that thought. How many of these players? How many of these players played on offense?
No, Richie. Remember what I said earlier. Defense is about cohesiveness. You can build. You have to have guys that run as a well-oiled machine on defense. One miscommunication on defense, and you got a 50-yard play upfield. Offensively, you can get away. Listen, you can have a dominant running back or a dominant receiver, and that can make that offense good. Defensively, one dominant player is not making a defense. You have to have a group, a collective group.
What I mean, Dave, what I mean is I think y'all just letting. I'm not saying it wasn't a great win by Colorado, but I think we're all being foolish if we let Colorado get away with saying they have a horrible defense.
Richie,
Well, no, I mean nobody's saying they have a good defense, Rich. We're just saying it's a good story. It's a great story right now. And I mean,
you're
they turned the program around.
You're basing a story off one game too, Pancho.
No, I mean, but if the kicker missed 4 field goals, are we going to talk about the kicker? I mean, come on, like they won the game. I mean, does anybody remember Peyton Manning's passing line in Super Bowl 44 that we won? No, we remember the Saints won the game.
All right, H, I want your opinion. What do you think? Do you see what I'm saying about the defense?
Richie, wait up, give me 1 second. So, Richie, how many yards do you think TCU's quarterback threw this past game?
The whole total offense they gave up was 500.
No,
TCU had 504. Listen, TCU had 504. Listen, I don't care. His total offense was 541 yards for TCU. That's how much yardage they had.
So again, it's their first game. They held TCU's quarterback to 279 passing yards and 2 interceptions.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
So their run defense is terrible, basically.
Now you know what you got to work on. It's your first game, right?
Carl even said it. A viewer even said it. You said they dominated the game. That's exact words out your mouth.
Who?
Pancho said Colorado dominated the game. That's exactly what you said.
I don't know. I mean, it was a close game. I mean, I don't think there was any domination. Yeah.
It's not a domination. I mean, but
okay.
All right, so what's the next topic, guys? Mercifully, let's axe this topic.
Okay, well, let me look.
Kill this topic.
Hypothetically, listen a little. Wait. Hypothetically, I'm gonna leave on this note. Hypothetically, because the game ain't been played yet. Whatever. How much better do you think USC's offense is compared to TCU?
I
think only time will tell. I mean, it's hard to rate them right now.
What did you say, H?
I think USC is significantly better. They have the number 1 quarterback prospect of like, I couldn't say all time, but I mean,
I can tell you right now.
I will be impressed, and I will give you credit. I will come on this show and say it. If Deion Sanders puts a game plan together and shuts down Caleb Williams, I will give him all the praise in the world.
Well, while we fast forwarding to that game, I mean, they got to win this game right here. I think it's all about Nebraska.
Because everybody said because now they're saying Nebraska's a preseason game for Colorado.
Well, I mean, to me, it's a conference opponent, so I mean, it's obviously got to be taken. It's a rivalry that goes back. I mean, in the '90s, that was one of the best rivalries in college sports. Colorado and Nebraska. I mean, with Tommy Frazier, Cordell Stewart. I mean, let's be real. Nebraska's fallen on hard times, but in the 1990s, they won 3 national titles with Tom Osborne. I mean, this isn't Appalachian State or like Nicholls State here. It's still a legit D1 program.
USC's defense better do something. Because you know how many yards they gave up against Tulane?
Now we're talking about USC's defense. USC's defense.
We're thinking way too much about this game.
USC's defense gave up 500 yards against Tulane.
But that's not the same defense, Pancho.
Oh, come on, bro.
It's not the same defense.
Look,
they got 3.
Let's give it a little time before we get to that matchup. I don't want to analyze. Listen, I don't want to analyze a matchup that's 4 weeks away.
Tulane, 500 yards against Tulane, Richie. Fucking Tulane.
Look, let's leave on this. They both have promising offense and their defenses are shit. Let's go to the next subject, though.
I just
good
want to say
deal.
one thing. I want to say one thing before we do. I told Richie last night, if both teams are undefeated by the time they play each other, I think that game is very intriguing, and I wouldn't be shocked if Colorado upsets them.
Absolutely.
If they go undefeated.
I'm not saying Colorado's that good. I'm just saying they have a lot of they riding the big wave, bro.
Let's see how they react. Yeah, let's see how it goes this week.
Caleb Williams versus
I'm not worried at all. I don't think that I'm not worried at all. I'm looking past that game. So whatever.
No, but Richie, 1 week at a time, y'all. Let's go 1 week at a time. I mean, there's so many variables that's got to happen between now and then.
Tulane can beat Colorado. I'm not worried about them.
They beat USC.
I wish.
They sure did. They
I know,
whipped that.
Richie,
They whipped
come
that
on,
butt.
man. You set
They
yourself up
whipped
on
that
that one,
butt.
Richie.
I'm going to change.
They whipped the butt. I'm not disagreeing with that. That was historical bad. I admit that.
Hey,
Jesus.
Hey, are we going to transition to NFL, or what are we transitioning to?
Let's go.
man?
Yes,
What
let's
we
go.
doing?
Let's move on.
They
Let's move
gave up
on, y'all.
500 yards against Michael Pratt and Tajay Spears. Name the receiver last year for Tulane.
Hey, I would take those guys over what Colorado had.
Oh no, hey Richie, Tajay is going to be a beast at the pro level, and I like this Pratt kid. I mean, he's money. I think he's a good mid-round quarterback.
You don't think Tajay Spears is better than any running back that Colorado had? I mean,
absolutely. I don't think it's even close.
Dude, Edwards is a monster. Wait till Edwards comes out. Wait till Edwards shows you what he's got. You don't even know Edwards is a 5-star running back. That is
absolutely. No, the kid looked good. Absolutely.
Why,
no, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, right now I'm going Tajay.
I don't understand, but guys, I don't understand why we keep saying why wait. Why not come out the gate? Show what you got.
I did. He had 3 touchdowns yesterday.
What's that?
I don't understand. People say wait.
Hey, let's go. You can't pros. You can't there's a lot of shit in the NFL, y'all. We're 2 days away from pro football, man.
Go ahead, Dave. Lead us off. What you got?
All right, listen, man. I'm gonna say this, man. Fantasy people, man, were wetting their pants today, man, because Travis Kelce is hurt. What's going on, man? Travis Kelce hurt. Cooper Kupp with a hamstring issue, man. What's happening in the fantasy world? That's what I want to know, man. How are people reacting to this?
Oh, whoa!
What's that?
They're both 30 years old. That's the problem.
Maybe so.
The age is catching up to them.
Well, he hyperextended his knee today in practice. That's what the issue was. He's not playing, but you know what? Go ahead, Pancho.
Somebody better go get Kadarius Toney off the waiver wire. But anyway,
wait, I want first waiver priority. Remember, that was supposed to be the deal since the auto pick shit happened. Because I would never have drafted Kenneth Gainwell or second defense.
Actually, you getting that. I'm actually going to open it up tonight, Dave, so you're good to go.
Look, Richie, all I want is 2 picks. I want to drop 2 people, and I want to pick up 2 players. I probably won't even pick up Kadarius Toney. I got him in another league. I don't like to double dip on a guy with that injury history. But, I mean, y'all might have Kadarius Toney.
Don't go pick up Kadarius. Pancho's giving you the wrong guy. Don't go pick him up.
No, I know who to pick up. Trust me. I haven't even looked at the damn waivers yet. So, I mean, I got to get on that league. I've been setting everything up in my other leagues, my dynasty leagues. But, look, Kadarius Toney, I agree with Pancho. He's a guy that needs to step up. I mean, he's a first-round talent. I mean, let's be real. The rest of that receiving core, it's a little questionable, man. I mean, Sky Moore didn't have the best rookie year.
I think when the smoke settles and it's all said and done, I think Rice is going to be the number 1 receiver on Kansas City.
Hey, Richie, he could be. He certainly could be. I mean, it ain't going to be Valdez-Scantling. You know what I'm saying? I know people like Justin Ross, we did in camp, but like I said, we go back to the camp adventures. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't always translate to week 1.
People don't realize Mahomes handpicked Rice.
Well, there you go. I mean, and look, and we're so, and in fantasy, we always like to say, well, hey, Sky Moore didn't make it in year 1, so Rice won't make it. But that's a bad way of looking at things. You know what I mean?
I hate that.
I tell you what, I'm saying, but I tell you what, they might be in trouble, man. If they miss Kelce, they miss, man. They got
Chris Jones is out as well.
Chris Jones is out. I mean, they got a lot. That's 2 of their best 3 players.
Hey, could this be the start of something for Detroit where they really grow some early season hype right here?
I think all of us deep down wanting Detroit to win. I do. I mean, that franchise has been through enough. That franchise has been through enough. It has. I mean, how can you not root for him? Especially Dan Campbell. I'm a Dan Campbell guy.
You can't win, bro.
Wait, what's that?
Wait a minute. Let's talk about stories. Let's talk about Dan Campbell changing the Detroit Lions around.
No, I agree, Rich. He's a former Saint coach, Aaron Glenn as well, who we always knew would make a defensive coordinator job. We always knew this guy was ideal for that. But Dan Campbell, he took over one of the worst franchises at the time. Yeah.
They're respectable.
Huh? What has he done?
Yeah.
He's
really.
No, I mean last year was a solid year, man.
What They almost made the playoffs last year. Stop.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, last year was a solid year. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, they respect. They could.
And they're gonna win that division. And they're gonna win that division.
I'm with Richie on that. I got Detroit winning that North.
They actually might. Green Bay.
I mean, look at the Bears have holes. The Vikings have holes. The Packers post Rodgers.
Well, listen, you know what? Let's dive into it. That's a great subject. Let's dive into that. Let's go through divisions. There you go. That's easy. So you got the Bears, Vikings. You got the Bears, Vikings, and Packers, and whoever else.
The
Lions.
The Lions. I'm about to say the Wizard of Oz in a minute.
The Lions about to get out of the cage this year, bro. Lions about to get out of the cage.
So who you got, Pancho, in that division? Since you saying what has he done?
I mean, are they an over-the-top team? No, I don't see that. I don't think they have the personnel to make a deep run. If you want to say 9 to 10 wins is a win for Detroit, okay, so it's a win for Detroit. But getting past that, man, it's gonna be. I don't think they have the pedigree to.
I don't think none of us. I mean, H. What you think? I don't think none of us are saying that Detroit's going to go deep in the playoffs.
No.
Then what did you go? What is your end goal? To be okay? To be?
To make that step forward, to keep stepping forward, win the division, but go deeper the following year.
I think they could be a dark horse that people are going to sleep on that could possibly do some damage in the playoffs. But if I were betting, I'm not putting them in any like NFC conference title. But the NFC is weak, though.
It's weak as shit. Yeah. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. We got so we all agree we got Detroit right there. We're moving. All right. Well, let's move. Let's do. All right. Who we got? The two juggernauts between the Giants and Cowboys.
I'm going to go with neither, man.
Yes, the Eagles.
I'm actually. Yeah, I was about to say.
That's easy.
I think you're talking between those two teams who finishes higher, Rich, or who wins the division?
Well, no, the division's more important, but I mean, them two are always.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to say
but
this.
I agree with the Eagles. I agree with the Eagles.
That's pretty.
I think Dallas is a good team this year, though, Rich. I really do. I think Dallas is going to fight for that, for a wild card for sure.
I think a wild card team may come from that division.
Yeah,
either the Giants or the Cowboys.
And look, man, don't sleep on Washington, man. Washington to me is going to be one of those sleeper teams this year, man. I want to mark it down. I want to remember this shit for future weeks.
I was going to say that, but I was too afraid.
I like Sam Howell.
Sam Howell's going to be a bad mofo, dude.
Do you think Jalen Hurts takes a step back?
No.
I don't. I don't at all.
Now I'm going to say this, Pancho. I don't think he takes. I'm going to say this. He doesn't take a step forward. Though.
He's
I don't think he takes a step forward either.
What is it? Your first year or two?
He's my front runner for MVP.
Your first year or two of Jalen's, NFL career, you wouldn't have bet $10 on a guy for any. You wouldn't have bet any amount of money that guy winning. So that guy had 1.5, maybe 2 good, a year and a half of really good years.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree with Pancho on this. I don't think he takes that. I think everybody's waiting for him just to bounce forward. I think listen, man, I think that Philadelphia team's really good, but dude, they lost a lot of coaching staff. They lost some key players on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean?
He's in between, say, Mahomes and Dak Prescott. Say he's in between. Do you think he's a Mahomes type of talent? Or do you
Absolutely not. I don't think he's there.
Do you think he's more of a Dak talent?
Whoa. You said, wait. He's way better than Dak Prescott. Way better.
He's in the middle right now.
He's way better. Dak Prescott ain't a top 15 quarterback.
Listen. I said there's Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then Dak Prescott. Do you think Jalen Hurts is more of Mahomes or is he more of a Dak?
Dak.
Mahomes. He outplayed Super Bowl.
Wait, what happened here?
I don't know. He left.
I don't know.
I would say probably more of Mahomes based off of what he did last year. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, look, Chris, stat-wise, I mean, I think this guy put up some great numbers. He's a running quarterback. I think that's the thing that people noticed at first. I mean, the passing stats were good, but they weren't exceptional. They're not Burrow, Allen, Mahomes level passing stats.
But Dave, he had two. But you say that, but he had two receivers that had great numbers.
Oh, he's got one of the top 3 or 4 receiving duos in the league. He's got a really good tight end. I mean, and look, their line's really good. They got a good play caller. A lot of things are there. And I'm not taking anything away from Hurts. He's a bad dude, no doubt about it. To me, I don't know where Pancho was about to put him at. To me, he's not – I have him in that 6-7 area as far as the best quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's in the top 5, but he's really damn close. And depends on what he does this year for me.
Not top 5.
I got him as my 4th best quarterback.
I don't have him top 5. I mean, you know how I feel about Rodgers, and I got Lamar Jackson right now.
I got him.
Listen,
you got Lamar Jackson over Jalen Hurts?
And the reason why I think Hurts has a much better team around him, or had a much better team around him. Like I said, I misspoke on this. They didn't lose a lot on offense. Offensively, they're pretty much about the same, but they did lose on the defensive side of the ball, and they lost a lot of coaches. I'm telling you, that stuff matters. Assistant coaches matter, man. People like to just spit on it, but it matters.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, they got to make adjustments for real. I mean, Philadelphia caught teams. What Poncho was saying before I don't know what happened to Poncho, but before he cut off, dude. I mean, Hurts was not. I mean, look, it was his rookie year. He was very vanilla as a rookie, and he turned up the juice last year. I don't want to sit there and put him into that Mahomes category yet. He's got a long way to go for me to get there. I think it's a great team that he's on, but he's got a ways to go to get to that level.
What, Poncho?
So Dak's at 2,900 and 23 touchdowns. Jalen's at 3,700 and it was like fucking 15 touchdowns, and Mahomes is at 4,800. So he's in between the two. My question was, do you think he goes more Dak?
Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
Go ahead, H. Go ahead, H.
Can you do me one more favor and look at the rushing yards and the rushing touchdowns for Jalen?
Again, that's fine. Do you think he can sustain that in the next year or two? Like Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Can you keep running? No, you can't keep running. Eventually, you're gonna have to stay. You're gonna have to pass. Is Mahomes running?
Poncho. It don't look like Josh Allen's running out of steam.
No, but Josh is a much better passer to me right now than Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has a ways to go
running, to get to Josh he's saying running.
Dude, you're running. Russell Wilson, your running career is going to come to an end. Eventually, you're going to have to throw the ball. There's no question about it. You can't hide that. You need to be a quarterback. If not, they would have 15 Taysom Hills in the league and just run the ball.
I think it's. I don't know why you would, but I guess what it is. I wouldn't use Dak as the guy in between him putting Dak there.
That's what he is. Me.
No, absolutely not.
No, I mean Jalen Hurts.
Not even close.
He went to the Super Bowl. I mean,
yes,
he rushed for like 2 touchdowns.
Dude, he had the defense. He had a badass defense.
Yeah, he had a great team. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
Poncho, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That's a fact. He outplayed him.
Actually, I don't know those stats, but I do
we have those stats from that game?
He may be right on that.
He outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
He played well. He absolutely played well. He showed up, no doubt about it. But I'm curious about the stats myself. Mahomes is he's the measuring stick. Let's be real,
dude. I'm just talking about the eye test. If you watch the Super Bowl, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Patrick Mahomes guy.
But I got his jersey. Listen, Mahomes.
I got his jersey behind me.
Yeah, but wasn't Mahomes banged up going into the Super Bowl as well?
He had his ankle. Yes, he had the ankle, but it didn't bother him in the game.
I mean, I don't know. I still,
dude. I think Dave. I'm not disagreeing with you. Listen, I think he has a lot to prove. I think we just got a small sample of it, but I think Jalen Hurts is the next big quarterback in the NFL. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I think he has some guys to jump over, but I can't hate the opinion, Rich. I don't hate it. I don't hate the opinion.
And this is what I mean by this. Everybody knows. I wish Patrick Mahomes, who's my favorite quarterback, I wish Patrick Mahomes had the maturity of Jalen Hurts. I really do.
I don't know. Look, I think Mahomes is I think he's got every tool, man. I really do. I think him and Rodgers are like the prototype.
I'm talking about the mental factor of it.
Oh, I mean, he's as mentally strong as anybody. I mean, that dude is as calm and cool under pressure as anybody I've ever seen.
But Dave, you're not hearing me. There's a maturity factor when it comes to the court.
Is this over the jazz bath issue or what? What are we getting into here?
No, I think what I'm saying
I'm messing with you, man.
The immaturity around the people around Mahomes, his brother, his wife it's just immaturity.
No, but Richie, I think that's not his. He can't control what his brother does off the field. You know,
but he also endorses it.
Here you go.
But hey,
the statue won it right here. Patrick in the Super Bowl.
Wait,
what's Chris got?
In the Super Bowl, Mahomes
70 rushing yards.
Hold on.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, Fatty,
Fatty.
Okay, in the Super Bowl, Mahomes had 182 yards with 3 touchdowns. Hurts had 304 yards with 1 touchdown.
Now look at his
There
rushing.
you go.
Look at his rushing right above.
And then
70 yards rushing.
Mahomes had 44 yards, and Jalen Hurts had 70 yards.
And
I completely outplayed him.
Yeah.
But Richie, I want to say this. I'm going to say a big factor in that Super Bowl game was another name. To me, a guy, and I've always liked this guy because I got him in my Dynasty League. I found him in the middle of nowhere when nobody else was talking about him. So I take a little pride there. But a guy who was really big in that game was Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for Kansas City.
Absolutely.
So he set the tone.
Agreed.
So, I mean, here's my thing. And not so much – look, Hurts had the better yardage, but the 3 touchdowns to 1 is all that matters at the end of the day. And, I mean, let's be real. Pacheco set the tone. He allowed – like Poncho said earlier, time of possession – huge damn factor in getting wins in this league. And Isaiah Pacheco allowed it to happen. Philadelphia didn't have those same caliber running backs in their room than what Isaiah Pacheco was doing. He was changing the game.
Put up 76 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
76 yards, 1 touchdown.
Who's that, with Pacheco?
Yeah.
Right. He had a good game. I mean, that kid, I still remember this in that game. He would have been over 100 yards. Well, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson made one of the best tackles I ever saw in the Super Bowl. Pacheco had a nice run to the outside, and I mean, if you could go Google it and just YouTube it, it's one of the best tackles I've ever seen in open field. You know what I'm saying? But Pacheco
I guess
did a
what
hell
we're
of a
saying,
job.
Pancho, we're not. I guess the analogy is, Pancho, we're not saying it's not a good analogy, but what we're saying is I don't have. I mean, there really is no in between. I still think Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. Not at all. But I think Jalen Hurts is top 4 in the league. I'm sorry.
Do you think Jalen's arm could sustain a top 5 quarterback?
I don't think he's never had issues with arm strength.
Like
Lamar Jackson. I'm not worried about arm strength. I'm talking about putting A to B, making A to B happen.
But you talking about just sustaining drives, sustaining consistent drives in big games without his legs, basically.
Just right now, if I took away Lamar Jackson's legs, would you rely on his arm?
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
But you can't do that.
You took away Russell Wilson's
Why?
legs.
Now we're not.
You took away Russell Wilson's legs, and what happened?
Pancho, there's more athletic quarterbacks in the NFL now than there is stationary quarterbacks.
No, look, Richie, and I agree with that. And I agree with Poncho saying I see both sides of it, but Hurts just got to evolve. He's got to evolve as a quarterback.
And listen to me. They said this at the scouting combine this year. Them scouts are paying more and more attention to a quarterback's 40 time now, more than it ever has. Ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, mobility is a huge thing, Rich. I mean, obviously.
3 to 4 years. But you still need to throw the ball.
What?
That's good for 3 to 4 years, but you still need to throw the ball.
Wait a minute. What? But Pancho, Mahomes gets hurt running. Mahomes runs the ball just as much as anybody else.
No, but Mahomes, I think it's a little different, Rich. I think Mahomes is setting up the pass more than anything else.
Do what?
He's running to set up a pass.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying you can't run, but why are you not using that same analogy for Josh Allen, who trucks over people? He looks for contact.
No, Richie, I agree completely.
Josh Allen's
Richie,
a badass passer.
Yeah, Allen's a better passer than Hurts to me right now, but I agree with what you're saying.
Whoa. Wait. Do you know Josh Allen is second to Lamar Jackson in the last 3 years in rushing quarterbacks?
Absolutely. And Richie, I think that's his play. That's the play calling fault right there by Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator. I don't love that. I think they need to run him less.
Josh
Allen takes a lot of abuse.
Josh Allen said he loves to run the ball more. So why can't you say it's going to hurt his career?
I am so glad that Richie Clement does not run my franchise if I had one, because we would all be in the shit house, bro.
Listen, Richie, Josh Allen doesn't have to run for 500 yards every year to be a top 5 quarterback because he's a better passer than Hurts. He's a more pure passer. I mean, he runs because he's got that dominant factor. He's a great runner. He's big.
We're not debating passing here.
Yes,
we are saying they can't.
We're debating a better quarterback. If the dude had to stand in the pocket, can he produce? You're
saying it don't last that long rushing the ball. You're saying it don't last that long rushing the ball. Running the ball.
You got to evolve.
Then how does Josh Allen do it? Then how does Josh Allen run the ball so much and stay healthy?
He's freaking young. He's still got he's got 1 or 2 years of running. Then he's done. But
what about Lamar Jackson?
Pass the ball. He can sling the rock. He can throw the ball. He can throw short. He can throw deep.
You think Lamar Jackson better passer than Jalen Hurts?
No shot. Equal.
No shot.
You take their legs away?
No shot.
No, but Richie, I'll say this: they're very close as passers.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say this: No, I'm gonna say. Look, hold on. Lamar and Jalen, his passes are very close to one another, and the reason why he never had Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. He's had a bunch of jokers in that receiving core over the years. And look, this is a year. I mean, look at what they did. They added all this at receivers: Zay Flowers, OBJ. This is going to be an interesting year for Lamar Jackson because, like Chris is saying, it's happened. But at some point, you do have to evolve. He can't run for 100 yards every week and sustain that. So that's what Poncho is saying. He can't do this 2 or 3 more years getting hit like that.
Richie, why do you think running backs got a 4-year life? Because they run the ball and they get hit. You don't want your quarterback running the ball and getting hit. He want him back there throwing the ball.
So are you saying Josh Allen won't play that long because he runs the ball as much as any quarterback in the league?
Yeah,
are you saying that?
Taking these hits, absolutely. If he keeps taking these hits,
you comprehend terrible, bro. You got a terrible comprehension.
How? Because you don't understand. Because you say some ignorant stuff. Because your mind don't read what it's saying.
Look, I think
Pancho, listen to the words I just said. I said Josh Allen is second in rushing for the last 3 years at quarterback.
And how many more years do you want him to run the ball?
I mean,
he's going to run it till he dies, he said. He's going to continue running, he said. That's out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Nice.
He said that's a part. Josh Allen said that's a part of his game that he cannot take away. That's what he said.
No, Richie, listen. Richie, hold on. Give me like a minute because y'all been going. Let me get in this because I watched that kid as much as anybody, dude. I've traded for him as a rookie in 2 dynasty drafts. I followed his whole career.
Go ahead.
So listen, here's the thing, and I'll say this a million times over for them. The Saints were garbage last year, so I was rooting for this. I wanted Buffalo to win. Great fan base. I like Josh Allen as a player. But let me get into this part of it. His offensive coordinator is setting him up to have a very shortened career. He will not, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he will not play past 32 years old. He's got to listen. He can still run when he needs to run, Richie. But these design run plays where he's taking hits on every 3 or 4 snaps, that's got to be thrown the hell away. Listen, the guy is a top 5 passer. He does not need to rely on his running, but he can use that as a weapon. But they got to stop getting this kid hit. Because, I mean, like that's what Poncho's saying. You can't sustain this for 10 or 12 years or your career is going to be, in jeopardy at that point. You're going to be in your 30s with a ton of injuries.
But that this year, that same subject we're talking about, and this is exact words out of his mouth, that's a big part of my game. If you take that away from me, I become a mediocre quarterback.
But listen, Richie, that's why he has head coaches. Somebody's got to be the voice of reason there.
Dave, you don't understand. It can't listen to me. The man, it came out of his mouth. He said, I'm a mediocre quarterback if you take that game away from me.
That's nobody. I've never heard that ever. Who would say he's a mediocre quarterback?
If we can bring it up on YouTube, I'll find it. He said no. He said that. He said if you take the running ball away
in the league, he's got tremendous timing. He reads defenses. He's like got everything.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Dave, but he loves to. I'm not disagreeing with you on any of those points, but he loves to run the ball as much.
But as a head coach in baseball, your best pitcher is going to want to go out there and throw 130 pitches every start. You got to be a voice of reason and say, hey, dude, you're at an 85 pitch count. Same way with football. We don't want you, instead of running 12 times a game, we need to cut that number down to like 4 or 5 run plays. You know what I'm saying? You can still have that element of your game and be a threat when you need it with the game on the line. Yeah, he can go run for that first down like John Elway would do back in the day, but you don't want all these design run plays where he's taking his constant abuse. I mean, I guess that's what Poncho is trying to get to.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
And listen, if that was the case, you would have a bunch of Taysom Hills in the league. They'd all be throwing and occasionally running. I mean, occasionally throwing here and all running all the time. You cannot invest your franchise on somebody who's gonna run and just get clobbered and they get a concussion like Tua. And then 2 games, and then you got to deal with miss them for 3 games because they got a hurt ankle, a hurt leg, or a busted head because they got a concussion from running the ball. Lamar Jackson gets hurt. All your running quarterbacks get hurt. That's why they don't. Aaron, look at your sustainability at quarterback. Drew Brees didn't run. Your
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger.
Aaron Rodgers don't run.
Wait, go ahead, H. I think let H talk. Go ahead, H.
You guys are also going to a period of quarterbacks that are not really existent anymore. I mean, you guys are saying that
bingo. Bingo. That's the word.
Joe Burrow can run.
Joe Burrow gets hurt. Joe Burrow gets hurt standing still. I mean, Jesus.
He. I mean, you name it. Mahomes runs. Lamar Jackson runs.
Yep. Keep it going. Keep it. Even Brock Purdy runs.
No, but I think. But Chris, I agree with what you're saying, but I think you got to taper that off. Like you can't be Justin Fields when he's running for 1,000 yards.
They
That's
don't
not
want it.
sustainable.
They don't want it.
That's not the NFL now.
Like if your quarterback's running for
That's not
1,000
the NFL
yards,
no
that's
more.
not sustainable. That's not sustainable. You're not winning. You're not going to have a long 10 or 12 year career if you're running for 1,000 yards at quarterback.
Listen, go ahead, Dage. Go ahead.
I was going to say I don't disagree with that, but unfortunately, that's just the way it's going. And
Thank you. I'm agreeing with y'all.
At age 32, Dave, I mean, we're looking at guys like Kirk Cousins. You and I both could. I think we all four can agree here and say, and I think he's older than 32. He ain't winning the Super Bowl. Those stats you quoted. So
Dave, hear me out on this. So listen to this. You name your top 5 quarterbacks right now, and I guarantee they all got something in common. They all run the ball.
No, but I mean, they also have another thing in common. They have great arms. They're smart players. I mean, here's my thing. Listen, I'm not saying like you have to have statuesque quarterbacks. I think we're like one end of the spectrum to the other here. It's you got to be able to use it the proper way. Use your legs to win, but you can't be dependent on that. You can't be running 15 to 20 times with your quarterback at the NFL level and have a long, sustainable career.
I propose the question to you. You haven't answered. If you take away Lamar Jackson's legs, or if you take away Jalen Hurts' legs and make them throw the ball, are they winning championships?
No.
Why would they not?
So you got championships.
All right. If you take away Josh Allen's arm and Patrick Mahomes' arm, do they win the championship?
No, but Richie, hold on. I know what Poncho's.
No, it's apples to apples, bro. You take away their legs. You don't think Mahomes can't win without his legs?
No. I mean,
I think he did. He won with a Super Bowl with a bum ankle.
He scrambled. He
just won the Super Bowl with a bad ankle.
But you don't think he uses his legs to scramble out the pocket?
I mean, you got to use your legs, but he's talking about Poncho's saying using his legs like running for 70 yards or 80 yards. I mean, mobility. Look, Drew Brees could move in the pocket, but he wasn't running for 50 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all do realize this. We saying the running back quarterback can't make it in the league. Well, guess what? Baltimore just gave how many years to Lamar Jackson? And he's been in the league 7 years. 7 years.
So, I mean, look, but look, Richie, look how long it took to get that deal done. I think there was a lot of back and forth with that contract.
Where was he last year?
Pancho.
Wasn't he hurt last year? His legs?
Sure was.
Figured.
And look, Richie, here's my thing. These guys that are like this.
So wait. So a pure pocket quarterback, you're saying lasts longer, right? Then why Joe Burrow's a pure pocket quarterback? Why hasn't he even played in training camp the last 2 seasons?
Why would you want him to?
Because he's hurt, Pancho. He's been hurt every training camp. Go look it up.
Look, let me get to it. Look, I want to make a point on a quarterback that we talked about. These quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Drew Brees, Tom Brady. All these guys that played.
But the same guy. But Dave, I'm not trying to cut you off. The same guys you're saying that stay in the pocket. Listen. Drew Brees hurt, career-ending surgery.
Richie,
Tom Brady missed the whole season, injury.
41 years old. I mean.
Okay, Brady missed the injury.
Okay, so let me ask you this. How old was Ben Roethlisberger when he retired?
Ben Roethlisberger, Lord, he was old, dude.
He was about what? What was he, 36, 37?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's look at Ben Roethlisberger's numbers his last couple of years in the league. And look at Drew Brees and Tom Brady's numbers their last years in the league. And what they were still performing at. You want to know the difference with Ben Roethlisberger was? He wasn't a mobile running quarterback. He would get into contact quite often. This guy took a lot of abuse. So those last couple of years, he wasn't able to put those numbers up like Brees was doing, because he took all that abuse. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger took abuse a running quarterback, like we're talking. But even though he wasn't a running quarterback, he would get contact a lot.
I agree with you. So, Dave, why was it Drew Brees fell so far when he was a pure pocket passer? What happened there?
Brees never fell off. This guy was his quarterback rating was like top 3 in the league. Richie, when he retired.
Brees was horrible his last 2 years. You said that.
No. Brees never fell off. Brady didn't fall off. They retired still at a high level. The point I'm trying to make is they got an extra 5 or 6 years of Pro Bowl caliber quarterback in them that Ben Roethlisberger never had because of the contact that he took. He took way more hits. I mean, how many times we saw Ben Roethlisberger carrying dudes with him that was a supposed sack? He would run into traffic. The dude was physical.
But also, you're taking Ben Roethlisberger, who wasn't a mobile quarterback, but always would be mobile. He was a big, let's be honest.
Right.
Big
He took
target,
abuse.
but no other quarterback that has ever been built like Ben Roethlisberger
Right.
would try to run, if that makes sense. Like,
Right.
But
And
what-
it's not a knock on
I agree.
Roethlisberger. It's just he took a
But
lot of contact.
Dave,
that contact will take its toll on you. Like Pancho was saying, there's a reason running backs don't make it past 29 or 30 too often. The contact, it's like running into a wall. You know, somebody gave that analogy recently. Run into a wall like 100 times in the next 3 hours. And see, you know what I'm saying? If you take these constant hits, it will take its toll on your career. So what Pancho's saying is these guys like Jalen Hurts, they have to evolve into who Russell Wilson became. Not saying the Russell Wilson from last year, but they have to evolve their game.
So do you think so you think a good 10-year run for a quarterback is pretty good?
Absolutely. But why not make it 15?
So this is Lamar's 8th year and he's doing it pretty well.
He is, but Richie, here's in this day and age, the way quarterbacks are protected. Look, you expect guys to play into their late 30s at a high level now. I mean, let's be real. Quarterbacks are extremely protected, so why cut that lifespan short 3 or 4 years? You know.
But listen to me. But what me and H are saying is now with the scouting combine, you have to be some type of athletic.
No, absolutely. That's not the conversation I'm having. I'm not saying you can't, like, you're not supposed to be athletic, but what I'm saying is, like Poncho's saying, you can't run for 100 yards every other week as a quarterback and sustain it to have a long career.
In today's age, you got MCLs, ACLs, hamstrings, all of these pulls that are happening all day long and every day. Like, your risk of Drew Brees pulling an ACL, pulling a hamstring or throwing an ACL compared to Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson is their risk is probably through the roof.
Yeah,
I got news for you. I got news for you guys. Once Aaron Rodgers retires and Kirk Cousins, there is no much more of the drop back traditional quarterbacks. No more. That's it. It's over with. It's gone.
But they all drop back to a certain degree.
Because
I don't doubt the game is evolving.
Because Trevor Lawrence is. What?
But Richie, what's the most effective play in football? What's the most effective play? It's not scrambling around and running around. And look, I'm not saying you don't need to do that. I'm not the guy saying statues are better than mobile quarterbacks. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, you have to win in the pocket. You have to get rid of the ball quickly. That is like the number one thing for a quarterback. Get rid of the ball quickly, make good decisions.
Okay.
And I mean, that's how winning football is. Patrick Mahomes.
If you go look He scrambles a lot. He does.
No, but Patrick Mahomes he can also go in a 3-step drop and rip apart a defense all game long. I mean, he does scramble. He has that ability to do crazy shit with his feet and make throws across his body. He does things that no other quarterback has ever done. But he could also sit there and pick you apart. You know, put together a 10-play drop on 3-step drop.
H, would you agree with me on this? I'm gonna tell you how much the quarterback position has changed. It was bad. Head coaches used to hate when a quarterback threw across his body. Now you see that all the time.
Yeah, that's
it happens. And it's not always but everybody, I don't think we should be teaching it. I think the problem is you see Mahomes and people try to emulate that.
No, but I think, no offense to you two, I like the statuesque quarterbacks, but those times are gone. You're not going to see that. You're coming more with dual threat quarterbacks.
Right.
Joe Burrow's like a good example. You don't think of him as a running quarterback, but he can.
Right.
But H, I agree with you. But we're sitting here saying that Joe Burrow's a traditional drop back quarterback. Why is he always injured?
I think his offensive line sucks for years, Richie. I mean, and sometimes just bad breaks happen, but his line was terrible his first couple of years. Let's be real.
He does run.
And you know what? Huh?
He does run. I mean, he will get hit. But
and that's what I'm saying. I think we're taking it. We're like the Dion extreme here. Like, I'm not saying like to have a statuesque quarterback is what I want to draft. I'm just saying you can't run 15 carries for your quarterback and take hits like Lamar's doing and play to your 36 years old at a high level. I just don't believe it's possible.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all because I think a head coach has got to be smart, and this is what Poncho is trying to say, and I get what he's saying. Because Andy Reid was asked the same question. I think I told y'all guys on our last show. Andy Reid was asked a question, and he came out publicly and said, I do not have one design run play for Patrick Mahomes in my playbook.
Richie, dude, I swear to God, I was going to say that. When do you ever see a design run for Patrick Mahomes? It does not happen very often, or ever. It doesn't, and that's because Andy Reid's a smart mofo. And that's where Josh Allen, he needs that shit taken out of his playbook, but maybe once every couple games. They need to stop doing that play 5-6 times a game.
I see where
get this guy killed.
So I see where Poncho's coming from too.
So
Go ahead, I'm listening.
If Google's correct, so the last 2 years, 2021 and 2022, Patrick Mahomes' total rushing for the year was 381 and 21, and in total was 358 and 22. Do you know what that averages per game? 20 yards. 20 yards per game.
Oh, we're not. Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you, Poncho.
So
I'm not saying Poncho.
Is that
I'm talking. I'm saying.
Whoa.
Go ahead. I was like, we were everywhere. Yeah. Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes averages 20 yards rushing per game the last 2 years.
What is his
Is that a rushing quarterback?
I'm not.
Is that a rushing quarterback?
I get what Poncho's saying. You don't have to run. He's basically saying you could be mobile, but not be running for 80 to 100 yards a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not sustainable.
Patrick Mahomes uses his legs He uses his legs a lot.
No, but Poncho's saying 20 yards per week rushing. That's
81 yards. And in 22,
he ain't going 28 yards. He ain't going 20 yards rushing. He's going 20 yards sideline and throwing the ball.
No, but and that's Richie. That's the point. But he's not taking hits. He's not taking Jackson and Josh Allen
hits. He's not a running quarterback. That 20 yards a game is not a running quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. What quarterback? Every quarterback almost nowadays runs for 20 yards.
No, but that's what. But he's saying, like, okay,
you classify Mahomes a running quarterback, and he's not.
Yeah. He's not a running quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback.
What's Daniel Jones? What's Daniel Jones?
He's a running quarterback. He's a running quarterback right now, and they need to change that as well. He can't take the hits he took last year.
He don't. But Dave, you like Josh Allen. I know that. You don't.
And I don't think he should take the hits he takes.
You don't think he likes running the ball?
No, listen, Richie, if it's in a key moment in the game, crucial drive, and he needs to run for 15 yards and run through somebody for a first down, absolutely. But the first quarter in week 1, it doesn't need to be 3 design run plays for him. His coordinator is going to get him killed. You got to be selective of when you pull that off, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You got to make business decisions. Let's be real. Dave, I don't want Josh Allen in a run situation unless the game's on the line.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're saying. So listen, y'all. Let's dive into a little bit about Sunday's game. I mean, not Sunday. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind.
I'm about to head out, guys. Y'all can talk about it.
Yeah,
man. It's like hour 22 in. I'm about to go.
Shit. Well, let's get soon on this. I got to go soon myself.
Go watch
all right, Big. All right, brother.
All right. See y'all
later. Later, brother. So listen, let's dive into it right quick because I'd like to talk about this weekend's games between, let's give H his assessment of Houston. It's only fair. We can't just sit here and talk about the Saints.
Well, I'm going to tell you now, I'm looking forward to seeing CJ Stroud and the whole new look of the Texans. I'm just not too happy with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to I think a running quarterback is going to beat us pretty handily. A running quarterback. I think we lose that game. I'd say probably 27-17. That's kind of where I'm at.
You think?
Yeah.
What's the spread on that game? What's the spread?
I can look it up. I don't know right off the top of my head.
I don't think
they're not favored. I can tell
Chris,
you.
would you say, Chris, a big issue, like you're saying, a running quarterback week 1, you got a new coach, new system. There's a lot of new faces on defense. I like y'all a little better on the offensive side of the ball week 1 than defense because of like what we talked about with Colorado, that cohesiveness thing. I think it's going to take a little while,
I think the offense is going to take a while to click. That's the biggest thing.
And it could. I got a weird feeling in week 1, I think y'all look better offensively than y'all do defensively. I don't know. I think Stroud's going to make some plays. I think your running game's going to be there. This Ravens defense isn't as good as defenses past. I mean, they're still going to be solid, but this isn't one of their most loaded defenses going into the season.
I'm with you, but I think
I think it's going to be a close. I think it's going to be a closer game than what you think.
Baltimore's favored -10.
God, I'll take them 10 all day long.
I'm with you, Richie. I like the 10 points there. I do like. I'll take that.
I want to see Stroud in his first game.
So why you added? What's the Saints spread?
Saints are 3.
And we can say. I guess we should say this Sunday. I think we should. What is it?
Wow,
3.
I'm taking that all day long. I was going to say 6.5, 7 easily.
3.
That is insane. I don't listen. maybe I'm wrong, but I don't like the way the Titans match up against us at all from their standpoint. And I'm not a cocky Saints fan here, but I love the way we match up with that team.
Wow. I mean, our biggest asset is our run defense.
Well, absolutely. And not to mention, I mean, you got a guy named Marshawn Lattimore who's one of the top 3 corners in the league. I think he's going to give Hopkins nightmares. That's the kind of receiver that he just shuts down.
I don't think he's going on Hopkins.
He might not. I've said it before. Conquo's the guy you got to keep an eye on in this game as a pass catcher. Tajay Spears. You know, it's going to be those secondary guys like that to me that I'm concerned about.
God dang, what the
Trey Burks.
Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
Treylon Burks. Yeah, Treylon Burks. I think that's who Lattimore is going on.
He could. I mean, but to me, I love the veteran matchup. Hopkins and Lattimore. I like a young guy on Burks because he's still so raw.
See, Hopkins, those kind of no offense to Hopkins because he's a Texan, but he's 30-something years old. I would put who y'all have Adebo, right? Adebo's your number.
I mean, 2? Adebo and Alontae Taylor.
You want Alontae Taylor?
So one of them on Hopkins probably would be better than having Lattimore on Burks. You'd have to stop. Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see what Henry does. He's getting up there.
Yeah. Sure well, what about Tajay Spears? I mean, I think he's a weird. Him and Okonkwo to me are 2 X factors on that offense in this game, man.
I don't think.
I'm just looking at those guys. I'm just saying, like, I don't think Derrick Henry. They don't win this game because Derrick Henry runs for 150 yards. I don't think that happens.
Dave likes the RB2s. I think they're.
No, I mean, I like Tajay. He's dynamic, man. I mean, I just
think his time will come, but it ain't this year with Henry. And
I know.
No, I mean,
so Dave, what score you got in that game? Let's just jump into it.
Well, this is. I mean, I don't want to go too deep. I mean, I thought we were going to reanalyze this Sunday morning. We're going to do like a more. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. I mean, I want to say this about that team, and this is what I mean about Tajay. I'm not saying Tajay is going to come out and run for 100 yards or catch 100 yards receiving. It's those key plays like a 3rd and 8 where Tannehill is under a little pressure. He doesn't have an option downfield. Lattimore's shutting down somebody. Alontae Taylor's shutting down somebody or Adebo. And it's a guy like Okonkwo who's against, Tyrann Mathieu or Marcus May. Or maybe Tajay Spears sneaked out of the backfield with a linebacker. Those are the 2 guys that really scare me in key moments of this game. I think that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to go off and go Astro World on stats. But I'm just saying, I think Tajay could have some key plays that hurt us in this game, and that's what I'm worried about. If I'm Dennis Allen, I've got to find a way to shut down Okonkwo and Tajay Spears because I think we match up everywhere else really good. And those are 2 guys that could sneakily beat you in this game. Yep.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna dive in Sunday morning more, y'all. We're doing a special edition Sunday morning show. We're gonna do picks. We're gonna do maybe a little bit of fantasy, some lineups and stuff, and we'll go from there. It'll be us three Joes and a couple of what?
Are we gonna be the Richard heads or what?
Oh, I like it. Look at that. Richie. Woo! That boy said
he just don't know. He just don't know.
Colorado to the house. Look at it.
It's all right. He can do that. He can do that on Atlanta.
Richie, let me ask you this: does Colorado beat Nebraska right now?
Oh man, I can't be biased.
You're gonna watch that game because I know I'm watching. If it's on TV, if I could find it, I'm watching it.
I think Nebraska's gonna win. I think they're tired of hearing about this. I think they're tired of hearing about this team all week.
Colorado all the way, and it's on Fox.
There you go. What time is that, Fatty? 11, huh?
11 o'clock.
Noon.
11
I
o'clock.
think it's noon. 11.
Man.
11 o'clock.
That's the way you start off a Saturday. That's the way you start off week 1 of the NFL with that game
at
in college.
Colorado.
11 o'clock. Man, I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
All right, y'all. Listen, I'll see y'all Sunday morning. Let's sign off. Sign us off, Fatty. Who that?